Okay, good morning, everyone. So, today I wanted to talk about if it acts like a duck, quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, guess what? It's a duck. So, what you're seeing right here in my driveway is a whole bunch of trees. And the reason why there are a whole bunch of trees in my driveway is because I met a man who was cutting down a friend of mine's branches in her yard. And I asked her, I said, well, does he do good work? And she gave him a good reference. And so this is what you see. This is the mess they left. This is the tree. And they're getting it down, but the guy was just so unprofessional. He talked really fast, told me he would give me a great deal, and told me he would grind down the stump of the tree and all this. And he had was it one of those buckets that can go up into the air and chop that down, and talked a really good game. And so I was like, okay, fine, fine. We discussed it. He came in just a little truck, one other man, and just look, almost killed all my flowers. Did this to the tree where his little saw got stuck in the tree and left this big old mess here. So now I don't even know if they're gonna show up. And so I'm just trying to chop all of this down. But this is just a hot mess. And I blame myself because it's like you in your gut, like, oh man, they talking too fast, they saying this. And when someone's making a whole bunch of promises, you need to make sure that they can deliver on those promises. And when he pulled up in that little truck, I should have sent him back from where he came. But no, I wanted to get the tree cut down. Told me, oh, the tree is dead. And I was like, oh no, stuff that's dead doesn't usually have leaves on them. But I wanted this tree down because it is a hazard to my house. So I'm just going to show you that it was hanging over the house. And so it is a hazard. It was a hazard because it was leaning over to my neighbors. I had to call the electric company. It was leaning near the lines. So it does need to go. But look at all this. And I'm trying to slowly chop it down and clean it up because I don't know if they're going to show up. I don't know if they're going to show up to clean up. I don't know what these people are going to do. And when people lie to you, or they say things, or they're talking too fast, he told me he had to rent his stuff. It was my fault. It was my fault because I should ask for receipts. But you live and learn. So here I am, got my saw out. And I'm just going to have to just do this, as much of this myself as possible. But you live and learn, and that's what I want people to know, is that if it looks like a duck, acts like a duck, quacks like a duck, it must be a duck, because everything that he did showed me that he was a duck. That he was a duck, that he wasn't going to do what he was supposed to do. He didn't show up like he said he was going to show up, but he showed up to take my money. Oh yeah, he did that, but I don't know. Anyway, like I said, it just cracks me up because wow, my instinct was like, don't do this, don't do this. No, afterwards I thought about it. I was like, wow, what if that tree or a piece of that tree falls onto my roof? Then I have a whole nother problem that's bigger than what I paid him. What if one of the workers get hurt? Then I have a liability on my case. They have no insurance. These are just regular guys. They say they've been doing it for 25 something years. I don't believe that. I believe that they acted like they were on drugs, and that's how they acted when I first met them. And they just trying to get some money. They just trying to get some money, and yeah, they may get this down, but like I said, everything within me told me don't deal with these people. But I went off the strength of a reference. And like I said, he did a good job on hers, but that was just limbs. That wasn't a tree. So anyway, you live and learn. When people do things that show you who they are, you need to believe it. When people act a certain way, you need to believe that. When people say certain things, like my daddy used to always say, he said, when people talk too fast, you need to just don't mess with them. Don't do no business with anybody that's talking fast because they trying to get over on you. Anybody that's so anxious to get your money is no good. Anybody that act like they're anxious to get your money is no good. Like for instance, with my car, I went to the car dealer, and I went to 2 car dealers, and one guy, he was selling it. And it just didn't feel right to me. I was like, I don't know. I drove a couple of his cars, like, no, these cars are raggedy. My car, my silver car over there, when I went on that man's lot, he passed me a list. And then he went in his office and he sat down. And I told my son, I said, that man got some good cars. And my son said, how do you know? I said, because he don't care whether or not I buy his cars, because he knows what he has. When someone has something good, they don't have to sell it to you, because it's going to sell itself. It's going to sell itself. And when I got that car, that's a 2004. I haven't had a single problem with it. I do regular maintenance on it, but I haven't had to do any major maintenance on it, because that's a good car. I got that car, it had, I think, 99,000 miles on it. And the first trip that I took was to Florida. Because I just wanted to see what you're made of. That's a good car. That's a Hyundai. I used to be so afraid of Hyundais because I had one before, and it was just, a newer model, made of plastic, hit the fence and bent all up. Hot mess. Here comes Mister. But this car, oh, it's one of the best cars I've ever had. And when they make older cars, they're just made better. But like I said, that guy wasn't worried about whether or not I was going to buy his car, because he knew what he had. He knew that he had good quality stuff, so he didn't have to sell me on it. So when this guy comes over to me to tell me all the stuff that he can do, he can cut these trees down, and he can do this, he going to have a bucket, and he going to have a big saw and all that, yeah, I should have walked away, because he was selling himself too hard. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with someone, that you got to just pay attention and listen to your gut, and I think that's the thing, is to pay attention, whether it's in the garden, whether just in life in general. Pay attention, because there are signs all around you telling you whether or not something is good or whether or not something is bad. And so I got to get back to work, finish trimming the rest of these branches, and I will talk to all of you soon. Peace and love, my friends. Peace and love. Bye.